Hello everyone, it's Soul with another video. Today we're going to do a scene-by-scene breakdown of Maldraxxus, the second video in the 4-part Afterlives series meant to give us a little bit of context on how the Shadowlands works. To summarize, this was, as usual, visually stunning, especially considering the more drab environment of Maldraxxus, a wasteland compared to the idyllic scenery of Bastion. Maldraxxus, the episode, is short. It's less than 5 minutes compared to Bastion's nearly 7 minutes. It doesn't have the jaw-dropping story beats of the Bastion episode, and it's very straightforward, but it speaks in a subtle but heavy way to contrast how these two realms work, as well as the Shadowlands itself. It's an episode of world building, and I'll explain more of that in a little bit, but let's just get started. It begins with a monologue from Draka, shown here in her last moments of life. And quick backstory for those who don't know, she's the mother of Thrall. You get glimpses of him here, and in his defense Draka was killed by assassins, but not before she managed to send her infant son away. I already find this to be of some interest because she's speaking for herself in the past tense. She ends this part of the monologue acknowledging that she died protecting what matters most, her son, but that she wasn't done fighting. So, world building time. This is a map of Maldraxxus, or at least the interpretation of what we get to experience in the game. Maldraxxus itself is separated into 5 houses, and their purpose is to defend the Shadowlands from threats, whatever those are. Draka was dropped off here by the Arbiter, who decides where souls go, and found new purpose, not exactly as a warrior or a mother, but as a spy master of sorts who serves the House of Eyes. We only get a small sample of this when we see her infiltrate a structure garrisoned with Fel Guards, demonic warriors of the Burning Legion, in this place that doesn't quite look like it's Maldraxxus, but it looks kind of familiar, according to images posted by Wowhead. Since we know that the Burning Legion was involved with smuggling armaments out of the Maw, we can presume that this scene is, at the very least, an example of Maldraxxus practicing intelligence gathering when it comes to the defense of the Shadowlands. The focus, though, is that Draka seems to have moved on from her old life all on her own and embraced this new one, with a new purpose that closely aligned her original one, to protect. But not everything's okay. Her Margrave, which is basically the leader of her house, informs her that Maldraxxus itself is under attack. The House of Plagues was wiped out, and he sends her off to deliver a message to the Margrave of the House of the Chosen. This particular scene here, it feels a little bit rushed. She doesn't seem to venture very far before stopping before these 2 no-name dudes, and I'm not sure if they're from the House of the Chosen, or if she's stopping to get them to roll with her, or to hang out for a bit, or what. But still, it sets her up for a surprise. She turns around, and the mothership of the House of Eyes goes kaboosh, bringing the Margrave down with it. And of course, this turned out to be an ambush. These guys were probably part of a large force that were surrounding the entire area, in case there were survivors and they were meant to finish them off. The thing is, though, well, Draka's no ordinary survivor. The next scene, we have her at the House of the Chosen now, and she meets its Margrave, Crexus. She reveals to him that there are traitors among their ranks, meaning the problems in Maldraxxus aren't from an outside force, but something within. Crexus reads the letter, revealing that the House of Eyes delivered Draka herself to him, as she's somehow key to beating back this new conflict. And the episode ends with a zoom out with her at the head, now a Baroness of the House of the Chosen, which is like a rank that answers to the Margrave. You know, the Shadowlands is pretty big on ranks, if you pay attention. And with this ending scene comes another brief monologue from Draka, who says that she's not just Baroness, but most importantly, she's a protector of Maldraxxus. Not a proud orcish woman, not the mother of Thrall, clearly a repeat of the line at the beginning where she had been a protector of her son, but she's moved on. So it's really easy to come away from this cinematic as being like, meh, it doesn't have the cool factor that Bastion had, with Uther and Arthas and all those cool reveals, and I can't blame anyone if that's how they feel. But Maldraxxus reveals a lot about how the Shadowlands itself works. Draka is the central figure of Maldraxxus, not because she's Thrall's mom. In fact, you see her move on from that very quickly. She died. And what we see here is someone who moves on from life to death fully intact. All of her memories, but without a spirit that's broken, which is the total opposite of Uther in the Bastion episode. Both she and Uther had died protecting what was most important to them, under the dagger of betrayal. Yeah, I know that Uther had his spirit stabbed in the chest, but I would say that Draka is just better self-actualized than Uther. She's got her shit together, and she's got the kind of personality, the kind of spirit that gets sent to Maldraxxus. Uther has a soul that's heavy with regret, as if he let down his king, his kingdom, and his student. Draka left her son behind in death, but I guess Orcish culture is different. She did what she had to do, given the circumstances, and there isn't anything left to hold on to. On the other hand, Duratan might have felt the weight of regret, having stood against his war chief, and we don't see him because maybe he was sent off to Bastion. Now let's do some speculation here. Why do the Kyrians of Bastion let go of their memories? Why do the Necrolords not? The people of Maldraxxus seem to have all of their old memories intact, and as we're going to learn in Revendreth, the souls who enter that realm don't just retain all their memories, but from what I've seen so far, the pain of their sins is basically farmed, like it's energy. We're going to learn more on that in just a few weeks, but I think that's the gist of it. This actually gets us closer to discovering the truth behind the Shadowlands' purpose and why souls go where they go. It's as if souls that have committed wrongs are brimming with anima energy stuff and are sent to Revendreth to be farmed and then, I guess, redistributed throughout the Shadowlands. Less valuable souls are then sent to Bastion or Maldraxxus to serve a different purpose. The souls that don't need any extra work done on them go to Maldraxxus and continue their existence understanding their new role, while the ones that need reconditioning go to Bastion to become what's basically the peons that farm souls from the Great Dark Beyond and feed the Great Machine. If I'm right, that means in the eyes of the Arbiter, the likes of Uther the Lightbringer, who was a defender of Lordaeron, is more valuable being a janitor of souls, while that one Houndmaster boss in Scarlet Monastery that was sent to Revendreth is worth farming its sin-filled soul for energy. The Shadowlands is shaping up to be a pretty bleak and very depressing machine, so what's ironic about Maldraxxus is that despite how it looks, Maldraxxus seems to have the best people in it, as in the ones who are most sure of themselves, and for one reason or another, just don't have souls that are fat with anima energy goodness. If I'm right, the cinematic turned out to be a lot more revealing about the overall Shadowlands story than first believed, but there are still questions. But they're outside of the context of this cinematic, so I'm not going to get to them here, spoilers and all that. But what do you think? Leave your thoughts in a comment below, and subscribe for more Shadowlands coverage and all things Warcraft. We'll see you for the next episode, but until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.